edition of Week 5 game between Ora Elektro and the Frenchies. My name is Lucky, and tonight I'm joined by Rahmed on production and GrumpyKoi as my co-cast. How's it going, sir?
That was fast!
Woo! Got lots of energy tonight, sir. How are you doing?
I'm alright. Like, you know, proud of my little boy. I told you why, so I'm ready for some TF2. For those who don't know, my little boy did a massive shit at his potty after 3 months of potty training. Proud of him. But
round of applause to your child for completing a turd. Yay!
Oh my god, what a way to start a cast. But we've got a hell of a game. We've got
a Gucci game, man.
Yeah, we've got some interesting things going on. We've got the Church of Jezunis, or formerly known as Ora Elektro, versus the Frenchies, or les darons de l'édition.
I'm going to say that is the best pronunciation of that name you're going to get all night.
Yeah, that was actually okay, and it's just downhill from here. Or, as I like to call them, Daddy Squad. So we're going to go with Daddy Squad versus the Church of Jezunis, or Ora Elektro. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup. These guys have had a really good season so far, Lucky. Like,
yeah,
genuinely.
Both teams. Yeah, sorry. Both teams definitely had a good season. I mean, the Church of Jezunis are currently landed in second place, having played a whole 10 maps this season. We've got Les Darons de l'Édition, the Frenchies, in third place. So it's literally two top seeding teams in second and third facing off against each other for one of those top spots. Not that it really matters, I don't think, because even though they've got the number of points they have, I'm pretty sure they made it into playoffs. Even though it's a little bit closer down there in the bottom of the scoreboard, and if something drastic happens, then maybe they won't make it into playoffs. But I basically have it in my mind at this point that these two teams, they're in the playoffs. So this is just going to be a bit of a precursor game for us, giving us a little bit of information before the playoffs commence as to how these teams are going to face up against one another. So we'll just sort of go down the rosters, shall we?
Yeah, far away. Let's see if we can have a look at these rosters.
Oh, beautiful rosters. I'm going to just roll down the Church of Jezunis real quick. So on the side of Ora Elektro team, we have Nevo and Sorix on the scout classes, Jezunis and Amrock as the soldiers, Eames on Demo Man, that big brain man himself, and the dog, Smiley Face on Medic.
Yeah, what a beast of a team. Specifically, I always like to shout out the Amarok and Jezunis combo. Solid scouts, especially like Jezunis. I would always say he's one of the strongest roamers in Prem. You know, he's not the flashiest unless you put him on Viaduct, and then, you know, he just destroys everything. Like, that guy could write a book on how to play Viaduct. Sadly, that's not what he's playing at the moment, but in general, he's very, very consistent. And Amarok kind of sprung onto the scene a few seasons back, and just, you know, it wouldn't be Prem without him. Like, Amarok is a solid pocket.
Yeah, he's such a strong player, man. I mean, I think too right for this team as well, because I feel like you have got two standout players in these soldiers for the Premiership division, of course, contesting the likes of Captain and Nubby up there in the top seeding team's fifth right now. But no mean feat as well to have Sorix and Nevo, these two absolute gun ray scouts that destroy everything in their path. Nevo is known for his just absolutely destructive power, managing to swap into those Ubers when Sorix goes down, and Sorix as well, averaging 27 kills.
The Italian Stallion. The Italian Stallion. That is all that Sorix needs to be known as. Sorix is a beast on Scout, and he has proved himself time and time again with his pure, solid DM. Last time I checked, I haven't looked at the stats recently, but he was the top Scout. Don't know how it is now, but he was the top Scout stats wise, and it doesn't surprise me because this guy just picks up kills left, right, and center. He can just turn around and start cleaning flags left, right, and center, and he looks good whilst doing it. I don't know if you've seen him at LAN, but you know, he's definitely Italian. He's a good-looking lad, and
he's one handsome boy.
And he proves it in the way he plays.
He really does indeed. But that's like this team, it just keeps on giving, of course, because you've got Eames, the big brain main call demo man. This man, of course, one of our lovely casters here at Team Fortress TV, has a huge brain for demo man and main calls to this team and does a really good job of it. And he's what sort of brings the whole unit together and probably keeps Sorix and Nevo in check whenever they are going awry and on an absolute rampage. And of course, we have the dog himself on Medic. This man has been known for his epic first, second places within Premiership Division. Very well seasoned medic, and obviously one to not be trifled with when it comes to an Ubersaur fight, because this man will destroy you.
unless it's Sunshine last and he just Ubers for the sake of it. But
oh yeah,
turns out they know. But yeah, shall we roll on to the daddy squad, the boys in the French squad, Les Darons de l'Edition, or Daddy Squad. I am going to call them Daddy Squad. I don't care what they say. I like that name. But we are going to have Neo and Karnax bringing it up on Scouts, Raf and Korvac on Soldiers, Alien on Demo, and Patchouli actually taking the role of Olga's spot on Med right now. Bit of a change there. Do you think that's going to be much of a detriment to them not having Olga, the smiley Frenchman, on Medic?
I've had the actual pleasure of playing with Patchouli, and this man is an actual unit, I swear. He's so good at Medic. He's going to be popping into Premiership now with the Frenchies because they deem him worthy of being able to play in this division, and I too deem him worthy of being in this division. Not that I've even played in it, but I still think that he has what it takes to be a really good medic, and you'll see him grow, much like Shock. If he gets some playtime in him, then he's going to be amazing, and that's just my whole take on it. But of course, he's not the only player on this team, Grumpy.
No, he's not. I don't know where you're going with that, but
the rest of these players are amazing. Have you seen them? The Frenchies have been together for ages.
I will talk about Karnax, because Karnax and I have this problem. It's called TF2 Center, and it's called alcohol as well. I don't know if you've seen any late night Karnax and GrumpyKoi just slapping each other. He usually beats me. I hope so, but that seems to be a problem of ours at the moment, where we just we tend to beat each other up. But saying that, Korvac, what a beast of a soldier! Like genuinely. And
yeah, watching him play is an actual it's amazing to watch. It's like watching soft porn whenever you watch Korvac. And watching Raf as well, of course, up there. But Korvac averaging 19 kills. We've actually gone live, GrumpyKoi, so any predictions before we start?
Ooh, I don't know. These guys have only lost maps against Swift, and one of them has lost against Ascent, but Ascent have changed recently, so it could be any one game. I'm gonna, I'll go for the French. I'll say the Frenchies may take this 3-2, but Church of Jezunis, also predominantly a French team, going to be very, very strong as well as we come into this first mid. Take us away, Lucky.
We've got Amarok bombing in nice and deep really early on, but we've got Korvac also in behind, but both teams starting to get aggressive now on each other. Korvac just threatening that position, but we've got one soldier looking back, but he does get directed by Raf. Goes down. Connor is the furthest one forward. Gets absolutely crushed by Alien. Goes down. Eames in low. Goes down as well. It's a huge crush mid for the Frenchies.
Oh, Sorax, though, looking in kitchen. He's sneaking. He's slithering, and he's going to be surrounded. It's going to get cleaned up by Karnax, and that's going to be the first mid going to Daddy Squad as they move into their second. That was a really, really strong mid out of Daddy Squad. They were trying their best to make sure that they had that pressure, and they didn't, get too much pressure from the soldier bombs. With Korvac being behind, dragged players, and with Raf getting that first frag, you saw the collapse after that, Lucky. And look, they're going in right now.
Yeah, they're in immediately with this Uber charge in towards that Sentry Gun. Alien's just going to sticky that one off and destroy it with a simple death. It does go down pretty much immediately. Sticky's on points, so they're unable to play it currently, just locking down the right spawn. We do see the soldier bomb in on towards Patchouli. Patchouli with a nice surf, it does catch the direct rocket coming out there, and they cannot seem to clean this one up. Raf gets launched into the air by Eames. Neo going in for the cleanup, but can't find anything, and that's going to be a failed last push coming out from the Frenchies.
Yeah, unfortunately they weren't able to get the frags they needed or trap off the rotation out of the right side spawn for the Church of Jezunis. So right now they're looking to go in. They managed to... Karnax actually got caught out by Sorex just there. So they've got one player advance. Now if these guys are smart and don't go through Saw, which seems to be their plan, they'll be able to get into mid through kitchen right now. And they're looking to create that space right now. But Raf, looking to deny, goes on to Connor, but the dog not easily killed. He's got the treat in regards to Sorex. It's going to keep him alive. And they're going to take this mid with no using of that Uber, which is the main thing that, Raf was trying to force right there.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to be making their way into Saw as well now. Just moving through that Saw nice and slowly. They don't want to use this Uber off for too soon, but Patchouli comes up with 100% Uber now. So maybe these soldiers getting baited as they jump into the grass. And they've got Raf, in fact, on that forward spawn. Alien does claim Jezunis with that sticky trap there. So now it's just going to be a little bit of a stalemate, even Ubers, but Jezunis being down, going to open up some room for a sec.
Can we just talk about how much I hate Saw? Saw is such a stalemate area. You'll see that a lot of games, especially on Snakewater, if they play primarily around Saw, it can be so slow, and it's based around, just getting the perfect bomb in. But when you're doing, standard TF2 and going through choke, it can be so quick. Like this map is so polarizing when it comes to speed, Lucky.
Yeah, it really can. I mean, Snakewater, it's been known for that. Usually on Snakewater, if there's one pick on Snake, you have the ability to push somewhere. Like on grass, for example, you have the ability to slow push on grass and get that sack through Saw and just create all that room. And it's so easy to just sort of roll disadvantages. But we are looking like we're going for a little bit of a slow peek here in lower just to see what they can see. And they will be spotting out that the darons are rotating off of Saw. This is now opening up space on Saw. Karnax on that fence, denying that soldier from maybe jumping out a window. So they're just going to be looking to continue to play passive in lower and just eating the spam right now as the soldier bomb comes in from Saw. Like I said, in towards back. 2 nice rockets to force him off. And that's going to be uber used, and now they're going to be heading in towards mid, but I doubt that they're going to find anything with this.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to get any sort of force out of this. Nice defensive position out of the dog and the rest of his team in the Church of Jezunis.
Yeah, looks like they are just going to be chilling out on grass once again, just chewing up a bit of spam here as they are starting to walk in. Raph is just going to be taking that high ground away, but they do use the Uber out really early. The dog not want to risk anything. Raph actually trying to get behind in Saw. He has been called. Sorix is going for the frag, and it looks like Raph is getting insanely low, going to drop down towards lower, taking that 1v1 and goes down as the pack has been taken by Amarok, who is rolling out there. So they are able to claim second, but with Nuba Desad.
Yeah, this Super Desad could be detrimental, but it depends on what Daddy squad do, because if they decide to push out, it can be super risky. If they get one pick or one decent situation where the Uber is forced, the Church of Jezunis can push in and get this last. It's not the funnest last to push naturally, but when you get a huge advantage, it can be quite smooth. But I can see Karnax picking up that sentry gun, deciding to go for the slower pick. Neo on sniper as well, so they're going for full off-class city right now, Lucky.
Yeah, Eames even dropping the fear in chat. He's doing what I like to call, and I have claimed as psychological damage, where you will write in chat something to throw them off completely, and fear is one of them when you have uber advantage there, especially as large as that one, and you don't even try to peek or don't even try to do anything, you just hold last. But I feel like it's a safe move from the Frenchies. They don't need to do anything here. They can just hold last. It's super easy to do, and they do find Eames, in fact, in lower. Raph is just bullying them right now in lower, on towards Nevo, nearly frightens him too. Callback pushing as well, but that Eames pick could open up a ton of room here. Amarok getting low as well, and they're just retreating out, and creating room here is Callback, but the team don't seem to want to move.
No, they're looking like they're not wanting to move at all. They can play this really, really chilled. You know what I want to see? I want to see banner plays. Like, in this situation, my first thought is, bring out the banners, bring out the battalion backup, just have an exchange and then re-push with the battalions. And you can do a surprising amount of work with that, but they've got their soldiers spamming traps that aren't there and not actually looking to get an angle on the sentry gun. So we're going to see a very slow game. If you look, Pacholi is just literally hiding in a a dispenser right now. So he's not going to be in a position where they're going to be able to force him. So they're going to be looking to take down the other important pick, which is going to be that sentry gun, which is holding in a very, very offensive position. And we're seeing a little bit of spam out of Amarok right now, but Sorix actually going to get cleaned up by Neo.
Yeah, it was Karnax doing a great job there, actually, who was managing to heal up the sentry gun and clear the stickies that were being planted underneath it at the same time. So actually well played from him on the engineer class, not getting enough shout-outs there. But Patchouli definitely in the safest place, like you mentioned, where he wants to be. I don't know about you, but I love it when I'm inside a dispenser, being unable to be shot at by a whole team because dispensers are actually broken.
Yeah, unless you kill them, then you have to push, right? That's the logic.
Yeah, that is the logic. Dispensers are MVP, but I think they were doing a great job here. I feel like they're going to just try and do the same thing again, just try and spam from lower, but they have rotated Alien down from top right, down to bottom, just so that he can sort of sticky them off and get that spam there, so they can't spam it out as easily. But I feel like that was the right maneuver to make. They can't really bust on this right side, as Alien just demonstrates on them that you can't do that, because he's got 7 or 8 stickies above that doorway. Absolutely destroys Ammer as he comes in, and they use out that Uber as well. I mean, they didn't get anything at all with that Uber charge, so now they're just going to be giving up space here. 100% Uber for Patchouli coming in second.
Yeah, no, it looks like they're going to be pushing in through cheese. They're going to have to make sure they don't get forced. Patch is very, very far forward. But Amarok, can he slither behind? He can't. They're going to actually use and try and get onto the dog. The dog's leaving through kitchen right now, Lucky. And he's going to stay alive, juking and jiving, not making sure that Alien can hit him. And he's going to be fine.
Yeah, puts himself in the best possible position there just to manage to dodge all of those shots coming his way. And it looks like they are now gearing up for another push. We're most likely going to see a classic Saw push here. Just wanting to get in somewhere where they can't really get bombed as easily. We have got the flank now moving in for the side of the Church of Jezunis. And they are going to be just jumping onto this area. They do land a nice rocket onto Callback there just to force him out. And it looks like the rest of the team have just scarpered all the way back to last.
Yeah, they have given quite a lot of space here with a little bit of maneuver advantage going to the dog. He is going forward. He's bringing his team forward right now. He's waiting. He has used now, saved Eames from a direct there, which is quite nice. He needs to now flash onto Amarok, but Amarok is going to die. He did actually have a conch on at the moment, but no, Sorek's going down as well. It's looking a lot stronger for Daddy's squad as they're going to push out. Neo actually pushing them further back. And unless Nevo can do something, he's going to be pushed back as well. Alien looking for the collapse and the damage onto Eames. Eames is super low, getting chased by Neo right now. But oh no, the rest of the Church of Jezunis, sorry, is going to clean him up as Amarok's actually flying high, escaping as well as they get all the way onto mid right now, Lucky.
Yeah, it looks like Patchouli did catch a pipe there trying to get in through lower, and that has caused them to slow down a little bit. But the dog coming up now, 90% uber charge to Patchouli's 60. So they've got an uber charge to play with, and they know they have this advantage as well, because obviously Condor on that last fight as well. And Patchouli now just going to be playing really passive with his team, preparing to leave through Saw, because this man knows how to count ubers in the Premiership division, and if you don't know how to do that, I don't know why you're there. But Raph is holding this top left area, managing to receive all of the arrows in the known universe to survive, creating so much space for his team. But the dog not moving anywhere. Patchouli finds his uber off of this, and we've now just got this even uber weird stalemate as Raph is just chewing damage at top left and receiving arrows. The bug, he still going in and gets the frag on the Raph finally. Jesus. Takes him down. The Church of Jezunis standing strong in this mid, not giving any ground whatsoever.
All chat, space made. Let's go! Oh no, Jezunis, yeah! I was expecting some sort of bomb out of him, but he hit his head. Amarok dies as a result. They need to back out.
Yeah, Amarok did bomb on top of Patchouli though. He did find the force there onto Patchouli and knocked him into lower. The Uber could have been a lot stronger if Patch didn't end up falling into lower, but they did manage to get it out of him nonetheless, which means Condog has 100% Uber advantage to play with now. So we're going to see how they want to take this one. They are currently 3 down. They do catch all of their players on forward spawners here. Looking like they're going to be going through lower, but are they going to check this trap? Could spell disaster. If they try and go through kitchen, the spam angle is there, and it's really easy to get a force. But Amarok just bombing through, trying to find the flank as they do just use through kitchen. Patchouli is all the way out of there, already out through Saw, as they do find Raph with the super and can find Karnax and lower. Callback, in fact, gets cleaned up there as he tries to escape through kitchen, and that is going to mean they're able to take mid, Grumpy.
Church of Jezunis putting in some work right now, going into second as well. They've done a great job so far of just turning this situation around into their advantage, but it is so close, Lucky. Jezunis does go in.
Oh!
As I say it, that was beautiful. Just coming in from the stratosphere and cleaning that boy up with 2 frags down on the side of Daddy's squad. They're going to be able to take this second, but I was saying earlier, it's super close. Neither team really taking that much control of the map.
Karnax in towards the dog. No. Gets annihilated. Oh my god. Amarok just directs him to the face. Condor gets the Condor bind. Very classic there. But we have got Sticky Trap on the bucket currently as they're heading in towards this last point. Looks like they're going to be angling now for this left-hand side push as the sniper class of Neo is there. The threat's there, but they do pop out the supercharge, so he goes immediately to swap off as they do bring it in towards the heavy. They're flashing all these players on top of this poot as he goes down immediately. Stickies are still on point, and Karnax is seeing AFK on the right-hand, left-hand side spawn even as the Pirate class is going to be heading towards the point now. Flames are on, but Karnax low gets immediately annihilated. Oh no. Patchouli and Neo, the only ones left alive, and they're not going to be able to do this one, and that's 1-0 already to
Karnax just isn't Olga. That's all I'm going to say for that. Not able to play the Pyro quite the right way. Dies so quickly, not able to create the space to keep that denial going, and wonderfully the Church of Jezunis getting that time, getting that cap, and bringing it to 1-0 on a very, very close map as we come into our second mid, Lucky.
Here we go. Indeed, we have got both demo men turning up at reasonable times. Both of them arriving pretty much at the same time. Looks like Alien's going to be pulling the same stuff again. Just getting really aggressive here. They do bomb in 2 soldiers nice and deep. But while this is going on, the Church of Jezunis just goes in deep onto Patchouli. He does find that frag. The dog is insanely low in kitchen and looks like they know about it. Rat's going in deep, and he's going to get pincer maneuvered now as Sorix gets taken down. It's just Nevo and the dog, and they're just barreling through towards him. They do take him down, and the con dog himself gets absolutely cleaned up by Neo. In fact, killbinds because he knows he cannot win this fight.
Oh my god, just the sea of blue that collapsed on them there. And that's going to be really advantageous for Daddy Squad because they've got like 25, 30, nearly 40%. Nah, 35% advantage right now, basically 40 going into this second point. So they've got a lot of pressure to put onto the Church of Jezunis. So really they're going to be looking at, you know, can they get any bombs in? What's Jezunis going to be able to do? As he's kind of a little bit out of position. He looks to do quite a big bomb onto Patch, but he's not going to get it. Patch duking and jiving. Ooh, not going to do it. Yeah, little wiggle there.
Yeah, they haven't spotted these stickies out from Eames currently. The blind deck could come in and catch one. He does det, but no one gets caught. And Patchouli's going to be moving in towards lower. Does pick up that uber charge and immediately runs it through lower. Doesn't even use it straight away. Just runs in deep, which is what you want. And the sentry gun goes down immediately. They're playing the point Grumpy. Neo's on it, but the bomb comes in from Amarok to defend it, but can't defend it against that many blue players. It's going to be 1-1.
That was super clean and super fast out of Daddy Squad. You know, that push was just exactly what you want. Creating that space, making sure they handle the rotation from their opponents, and they just have the bodies on point. And we're going to be coming into this third mid. And right now, still, could be anyone's game. Like this Snake War, no one's really taken that much of a lead, that much of a showing. It's really going to be dependent on how one of the team takes control of the pace. And the pace is going to Jezunis and Amarok, but they get cleaned up instantly, Lucky.
They absolutely annihilated there as they go in for the bomb, but they were ready to catch those soldiers as they understand what they're doing now. And Frenchies have definitely read Ora Elektro to the T and are able to immediately claim that mid and roll it in towards second. Eames barely has any time at all to set up a sticky trap. In fact, I think he's only got stickies in lobby, and that's all he's managed to acquire. So they are just going to be moving all the way back to last, and when you're around down, it's not really the place you want to be.
No, it's really, really not. And they need to set up some sort of decent defense as Raph's actually already in. Callback's going in for the second bomb onto the dog. The dog's going to be able to surf it. It's going to take a little bit of full damage, but it's not going to be enough. He's quite a confident med.
Oh, what did you do? What a bomb! He just bombs into lower, 2 pipes, Patchouli down into the floor. I've never seen a man get so fisted by a player in my whole life.
I missed that. That's beast. Absolutely savage. Like Eames creating such a crazy opportunity for his team right now. 100% Uber ad. They're going to be able to push in really, really strongly.
Jesus, man. I think Patchouli's going to be needed to take a breath after that one. Someone light this man up a cigarette. I mean, that's French appropriation there. But anyway, they're bombing into the second. Again, forget, man. Raph's going in, does nearly land the wall rocket.
Whoa! Jezunis gets the backstab onto Patch.
I didn't even see it was Inspire. I'm so brain dead.
What?
That's nuts. He didn't really even need to get that stab even because they had Uber, but they're heading towards last already. Eames is just bombing in here with
Jezunis is distracting the demo.
Yeah, Amarok's in really deep as well with this Uber charge, but they've now run out of Uber. And Neo is up on the left side with Patchouli. They're just all getting healed up here, but they haven't got any more aggression towards this point as the respawners do come in from Raph. Just receives those crit heals, and that is enough to force them all the way out. Lord Jezunis still down, but even Ubers for both teams.
Huh? How did they not, how did they not capitalize on that? They had so many great opportunities. Ben was putting in the work to, make sure that his team, were able to have full advantage, and they managed to equalize it. That's insane from Daddy Squad.
Yeah, they did a really good job, to be fair. Alright, so looks like we have just got another last hold coming up here for the side of the French. He's just going to be building that sentry gun once again, and Karnak's most likely going to rotate it into that open field position that he likes to put it in. Has just built it on the top right area for safety reasons. When it's a baby sentry, you don't really want to put it in the firestorm immediately. You want to level that stuff up and make sure it's ready for combat, fitted with those equally textured rockets that we like to see out of the sentry gun.
I just want to see some sort of frontier justice play. If he gets a couple of frags, he needs to just jump around the corner and drop them head. You know, we need that Sanzi level energy right now when it comes to Karnak. Neo, I don't even know how Neo died. He could have just flopped to the floor. Then bless him. Alien's down as well. This is not good for Daddy Squad.
Oh no, they lose callback as well. Pachuli's all left alone now. He just has Raph with him. And Karnak also gets cleaned up with his gun. He dies for the glory, but it looks like Nevo and Azunis coming from the flank and just cap it up. That's going to be 2-1. Really well played there.
What? They just bled to spam.
Wow, Condor with the BM in chat. He wrote Patchouli question mark first prem game question mark he. The BM from this man Grumpy. I'll be taking that.
He is British, you know. Like, you know, he got to keep the stereotypes are going. You know, got to be a toxic Brit 24/7. As we come into our fourth mid, looking a little strong for the Daddy Squad as they get 2 frags, including the dog right now. And you know they're feeling it. They're looking to capitalize on the situation right now. They are 1 round down, so they don't want to. You know, I don't like the fact that they play really, really strong from playing behind, but there seems to be the sort of correlation of how they're playing at the moment, Lucky. Like, when they lost a round, they gained it back super quickly, and I think that might be a return if they can use this Uber really, really strongly. They've got so much time ready. They've got, you know, 75%, 80%, sorry, Uber advantage. They're looking strong. I can do maths, I promise you.
They have this huge Uber advantage to now play with as they do pop in through this right-hand side area. Neo is just leading it on the bomb with Alien, but the sentry gun still has him as far out. Eventually goes down there as Alien does eventually find it. On towards Eames now, turns down and comes to his face, but gets walked back away from the team. It looks like they are now just trying to collapse on top of this point as Eames eventually got cleaned up and Sorox cannot defend it. It's going to be 2-2. This game is super close, Grumpy.
Why are they so good the moment they're behind? They need to switch this mentality into the next round for Daddy Squad to be able to get that lead. Because the moment they go behind, Lucky, they play perfect TF2. The moment they're equal, they flop. It's insane.
I think they just talk about the mid-fights and they understand what they need to do when they take the next mid-fight. Otherwise, they just say, just do the same thing. And I feel like that makes them a little bit complacent. As you see, they are now playing passive and just waiting for these soldier bombs, which aren't going to come from the side of Ora Elektro. They need to make something happen. They need to make the aggression come out. Otherwise, they just lose players like that. As Neo goes down immediately, Amrock going to be jumping forwards now onto that high ground, just creating a little bit of room. And Patchouli is all the way out and lower. And they're just slowly walking across the point and do force them out. Like I said, playing way too passive on this mid.
Yeah, like, the moment that Eames can play kind of a slow, focus-dependent mid, he will be super strong. And Azunas pop in, patch into the air, but it's not going to be enough to save him as Amarok comes in at the last second and cleans him. The dog with 100% Uber. Can Karnak slipper his way in? It's so much damage onto the dog. The dog manages to get out. Karnak is going to go down, but he got him below half HP before his death did happen.
Yeah, got him to use Uber Charge as well, which I think is the big thing here. You don't really want to be facing against that 100% Uber ad for last when you have to hold it, because they were definitely going to push on that ad. So that has bought them an extra point here, basically, where they don't lose 3-2 this game if they were to play Mega Passive for the rest of the game. Looks like both teams just going to be building Uber again. Karnak's just going for his patented sentry gun, and as long as Alien doesn't feed on right, I'm fairly certain this will be a last hold.
Yeah, as long as they play around bucket, they should have a really, really comfortable time. It just depends on, you know, is Alien going to chase those logs, I guess. Like, when I see a demo on right, most of the time, I just think of log chasing demos. You know, demos who just want to get that spam in. I'll be honest, I'm very much of that ilk, but that's why I'm a midi and not a prem player. But having him set up on the left-hand side in a position where he can just watch things would be super, super strong. Or just with support from his med the move forward can be quite solid, but he needs to be 260 100% of the time because they can't lose Alien because that area denial is so important. And right now they are setting things up quite passively right now. We're looking for angles, never actually on the sniper. Is he going to hit anything Lucky though? That is the question. He's peeking long. He's looking for, Alien would be a nice spicy pick for him right now.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be peeking nice and wide. Oh,
Neo
wins! Each other. Neo wins the sniper duel. That is going to
Too
force
many
them.
letters,
Oh,
bro.
they find a Zeus as well. And the dog is currently stuck in lobby as that sniper angle there is really threatening him. And the pipes coming in from Alien as well. There is enough room through lower right now if they wanted to flank. And Korvac is currently reading that, I think. And is, like, seeing lower. They do get the headshot onto Amrock as well. And they're just forcing them out. But pussy maneuvers, they don't go in.
Looks like the guy with one less letter is doing a little bit better right now. As Neo is dealing with the dead weight of his opponents and cleaning them up. God, I'm loving puns today. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
If no one's ever experienced a GrumpyKoi Lucky pun fest before, I am sorry. And also buckle up as Jezunis goes in as his national hero, the Frenchman. Gets the backstab onto one, gets the backstab onto the second, that's 3 down!
Azunis is an actual punk player, man, as they are now coming in on this left-hand side onto the slash. They get the dispenser pick, they get the sap on the sentry gun, they're going in towards the point for the block as Azunis just surfs it off. Condor still has Uber, they're going to be chilling out on the side, they do pop out eventually, and looks like they are going to try and clean up these respawning players, force them back into the spawn door as they're sticking on currently on the point. Sorks needs to get unflashed as Raph bombs in, Cormac bombs as well, they're holding this Grumpy, Neo runs forward, no! And they managed to survive this last push. Somehow, the absolute disaster turned into an absolute win.
Hello? Am I what? Am I in a fever dream? What? What?
They had the sap on the sentry gun, there was no demo man, they killed all of them, they had blue bread and they were just sitting there and they don't win it? Honestly, right, I'm gonna level with you for a second, Grumpy. I feel like if Condor didn't pop his Uber, they would have won that round.
Yeah.
Because Storks was on the point Ubered for way too long. And he wouldn't have got that cap. Anyway, they have Uber to play with now anyway, so regardless, they're going to be going for another push. And it looks like the Frenchies are set up already. They do find Neo as well, though, as Nevo is up on Monkey Class. They use the Uber pretty much immediately. Through no stickies. The sentry gun launches Eames in towards the air, and it looks like he's going to be trying to sticky off the edge of that point there, but there are stickies currently on it from Alien. They have got HMS Poo on that side as well, but they do find Patchouli in the spawn door, so no Uber coming up for them. Alien's in one alive. Neo on a respawner. Alien manages to banny bind, so they are currently still alive. Neo's going in, but Monkey Class is doing no work right now, but Eames Eames gets dead. Alien! He destroys the dog as well, and a 1v1 with Nevo as well. He's 25 HP. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Imagine killing the demo. They're running into a roller. Oh my god, Nemo, are you okay? What is going on? What is this game, Lucky?
This is fucking incredible.
I'm not okay.
Oh, I need 5 minutes.
Okay, we're back. We're back. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to teamfortress.tv. The premium TF2 content. Oh, I don't feel okay.
Oh, I had to get up and walk around my room for a second there. Okay, I'm back.
The dog has Uber. The dog is in. Eames is popped. No one is there. They get the sentry gun. Sorex, Italian Stallion on point. Korvac trying to deny. Not as pretty though, and that's 3-2.
There you go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. They just need Sorex on that point there, being not Ubered, and then they've got that one in the back. That is exactly how you should use a clinical Uber ad push. Just pushing on the right-hand side, sticking them off left spawn, and just playing the point immediately. Well played from the side of the Church of Jezunis there.
Bringing it to 3-2. I said 3-2 to the French team. I changed my idea. Well, both teams have a lot of French players, so I'm going to say that's the Church of Jezunis now. I'm a crooked cop. Korvac is behind, though. Very, very behind. So right now we're going to just look at the rest of the team as Korvac sneaking in. Amarok, no, he's going to deny that push in, but they're having a little bit of an exchange, and Korvac wins it. Now Sorex going to be looking to clean up that kill. Is actually going to get it.
Oh,
but that's
my
pushed
God.
his team so far back. Eames is in such an awkward situation. Eames is still alive. He was chasing Raf's corpse there, but he manages not to get it. He does get cleaned up, and they are going to be able to push forward, and they're going to be looking to equalize this. With 2 minutes left, they could bring it to a golden cap.
It's like you mentioned, playing from behind, they just suddenly activate and they go in. And Raf had a huge bomb on that mid, in fact, forced the entire team of Ora Elektro out there, and that pretty much won them the mid fight in the end. There was no ability for them to repush whatsoever, but it looks like they are trying to bust this left side immediately, and they might do the same George Foreman again, and it looks like they are. They just bomb with the soldier and the Demo in towards Condor, and they do get that force pretty much immediately. It's just Alien and Raf, the only two to die there, and Korvac, Neo, and Patch are going to be escaping back towards Saw with their full Uber.
Karnax is a little bit too far forward. It's going to get cleaned up, but they have got that Uber ad, so they're going to have to try and make something of this or just back out to mid, and that looks like what they're going to do. They're going to get Raf and Karnax back eventually, but they're already looking in Saw. They're already thinking. I think Alien's yelling at someone in French as they're looking to go forward. You can just see it. You just turn and look to the med like, what are you doing? Let's go forward. And that's exactly what they're going to do with this ad that's literally collapsing in front of their eyes. 25%, 20%. It's going to be 10% in a second if they don't get the dog who is in spawn.
It doesn't matter. They haven't capped second yet.
What?
So
Yeah,
Condor
this isn't Pro Tech. Oh no, they're going to get collapsed upon. And Aliens got cleaned up. With 44 seconds left, they could have waited. No, callbacks and Neo are the only ones left.
I think they would have had a better chance there if they just YOLO'd it afterwards. But Neo is still alive here. Potential for a back cap, but also spawned by Nevo. It's going to be taking that 1v1 in. He actually wins it, but eventually gets cleaned up there by Sorex. And it's looking like it's going to be an unfortunate loss here for the side of the Frenchies. Condor still alive. All these players getting overhealed here. Eames is saying, we're not going to mid.
Yeah. Eames twisting the wound that was that last push and not even pushing forward, not risking it. 1 second left. That is 3-2 to Church of Jezunis. Well played. Close game. First map going to Ora Elektro / the Church of Jezunis.
What a wild ride that game was. That was incredible. My emotion, I don't think my heart can take another map, which is actually what we get out of this matchup. But 3-2 on the scoreboard there. The Church of Jezunis going to be taking away 3 points already in this official, but they had to really fight for it. 2 rounds for the side of the Frenchies. I would not be unhappy with that scoreline if I was the Frenchies, although I guess they really, really want to prove themselves. I mean, in past seasons, we've seen them come mid-table most of the time, but never in the second place position that they've currently got. Third place position they've currently got. So, I mean, you know, they're going to be fighting for more on this, I think. They're going to want to take Metalworks off this team, but we have now got logs, Grumpy.
Yeah, we have. We've got numbers, and, you know, it's kind of a low damage game, but that doesn't surprise me because there wasn't a lot of holds. There was a lot of to-in and throw-in and just a lot of, round play between the teams. And, you know, the first round was 12 minutes long, but then from them, it never went over 7 minutes. You know, it was straight away like a 1 minute 50, less than 1 minute 50 round from the Frenchies Daddy squad, and then their second round was 1 minute 30. And I mentioned it before, but they just can't get the lead. They're so good at coming back, but they needed to push that energy that they had from being behind all the way to going into the first round. But if you look at the logs, it's a close game. Eames bringing up the top of the leaderboard when damaged, but then Callback, Raf, and Alien all bringing up the next 3 slots. So you couldn't really easily say that either team had a lead. The difference in damage was 500.
Yeah, it's a really close game overall, but I think Eames was actually on a bit of a tear this game. He did seem to get all of the pickoffs that he needed. I mean, getting that drop onto Patchouli first of all, and then managing to get a bunch of sticky kills to defend Condor as well. Some really crucial moments coming up from Eames during that game overall, and did really well on these clinical last pushes and bombed in when he needed to. So I think Eames just had a very good game. and that's why he top damaged and had a decent amount of frags as well. One thing to point out as well is unfortunately Patchouli got 11 deaths and Condor had 5 deaths, but the Frenchies made it work. They managed to find the forces that they needed, and they had like all of the like organized plays they need as well to sort of like throw Ora Elektro into having these really poor Ubers and just sort of force them into the situations they don't want to be in. I feel like that's where the Frenchies really excel. They like the chaos factor that they sort of produce by bombing soldiers behind on mids, for example, or running these snipers and just trying to force all these strange scenarios in the games.
They only lost 1 mid.
Exactly.
They only lost 1 mid. Like the Daddy squad only lost 1 mid. That's kind of a detriment to kind of how they play. Is they get that lead and they get that mentality to take it all the way. They're really, really good, but the moment that they lost Patch, they just didn't know how to continue.
Yeah. I mean, but I think we should move on now, Grumpy, into our next map, which is Metalworks. How are you feeling about Metalworks for both these teams?
I don't know.
That's a perfectly reasonable answer, because obviously Metalworks has been brought back into the season. We played it a little bit here and there. EU is more of a regular map in NA as far as I know. But I feel like I really like Metalworks as a map overall. I feel like the second's really interesting. If not limited in some aspects, but you can get really creative with these mid-fights, and that's kind of what I live for when it comes to Metalworks. As well as last pushes, you can see some really creative stuff coming out of teams, and it really allows teams to play to a certain play style, and if they can make it work, then it's good. For example, if you've got a team that likes to be offensive, Metalworks will allow you to be offensive. They've got these really high bomb spots that you can go off. That can end up with huge nuke bombs on mid, especially from soldiers, and same for playing defensively. You've got all this high ground to play around and all these deep dive areas where it will be hard to find medics. So I feel like Metalworks definitely an interesting map, and I feel like it's one of the stronger contenders in the season.
I think like if we have a quick brief moment to wick up the head to head, it'd be interesting to see the difference between Jezunis and Raf when it comes to their stats as roamers, because I feel like on this mid it's going to be very roamer dependent on how they set up certain situations, because you've got a lot of space as a roamer to get some really high bombs, whether that's coming out of your choke on house, your upper choke and taking a high bomb off there, or trying to just go low across the point into their upper choke. There's a lot of opportunities for them. So I feel like, comparing Jezunis and Raf will be very interesting here. Like if we look at the stats, they're pretty close. There's not a huge difference between them.
Yeah, they are insanely close, actually. 17 to 16 deaths, 14 to 13 kills, and I mean, the KD ratio is basically the same because of that. DPM is literally fucking 5 off each other. That's insane. But we are looking at Jezunis being first place in health pack pickups, and Raf being 16th, literally in dead last. Versus Jezunis is first place. They are the polar opposite for health packs.
That's terrifying, because if Raf takes like 10 med packs and Jezunis takes like 20, doesn't that mean that the damage per health pack is higher with Raf? Well, I just looking at maths too much right now. He's
better avoiding damage. Actually, there's a damage taken stat, and he does take more damage.
Does that mean he takes
doesn't
more
die
heals?
as much? Maybe he just takes more arrows. I think that's just all it is.
Which is interesting, because Patch is new, and Olga would be the one delivering those syringes.
Well, Raf is pocket, so I mean, Jezunis is Roma.
Is he?
Yes.
I swore. Wait, what?
Which is why you've got that disparity. But I mean, it means that Raf is leaving.
Wait, is Korback Roma?
You're losing your mind.
Wait, Raf is playing pocket? Do you know how many years Raf has played Roma?
Lots. Anyway, we're going live.
What?
Welcome everyone to our season ETF2L Premiership Division Season 36, a Week 5 matchup between Church of Jezunis and Le Daron de l'Edition for our Metalworks game. I am Lucky, I'm joined by GrumpyKoi as my co-caster and Rahmed on production. Also, shout out to J-Max. Shout out to J-Max Chill for those stats, he's absolutely amazing. And we're going into our first bit, but Alien dies immediately, Grumpy.
Yeah, he gets cleaned up by the actual Roma, Jezunis, and Raf is going to stick with his med because he's pocket, and I'm an idiot. Wait, they're both sticking with.
Come on, man.
I am sorry, chat. I don't understand. Callback is someone I have seen many a. Yes, draft, do pocket things, kill. Okay, trade. They're going in right now into second. The Church of Jezunis looking to deal a lot of damage onto Patch. He's in an awkward situation, but he's actually going to walk forward as he is going to get his Uber around the same time as the dog. So they're doing pretty well. They're keeping that high ground, one apiece when it comes to deaths. But I'd say the Daddy squad are looking a little bit more uncomfortable. They're a little bit more separated right now as we get some high ground coming out of the soldier. But they're going to bait time with Sorex and Eames. Eames is actually going to go down to Neo. Uber has been exchanged, and it's going to be a little bit better for Patch as he's going to go chasing the dog. The dog needs Sorex to turn around now and Azunas to support him as well as Raf actually goes down the pocket, and we're gonna see them push forward, Lucky.
Yeah, they have got a bit of a heal advantage coming out here, and they've got also class advantage, but Alien getting super low. Let's get focused down there. Sorok manages to find that frag immediately, but Nevo, he's on the flank, in towards the medic, trying to find Patch, but he's not going to find it immediately with Zunas bombing in towards the scout. Does in fact frag himself, but it looks like Patch is going to manage to get out there with the assistance of Callback. Callback also getting low. Unfortunately, Patch misses the arrow, and that means Eames is going to find the sticky trap behind him. Raph is going to be holding super close to that doorway, lands a nice rocket into the middle of Ora Elektro to stop this push, but it looks like they are going to try and barrel this one forwards. Eames is trying to struggle through this shutter door, eventually getting there as the dog has stuck the beam up his butthole, but Karnax up on that pyro is going to totally deny all this spam, and it's going to be on the retreat.
Raf is pocket. Sorry, okay, let's carry on. My brain is just I'm still struggling right now. As they're actually pushing in, they got two really decent frags out of the Church of Jezunis, so they're going to be looking to chase. Raf actually looking to chase onto the dog, but he's going to back out. They're going to secure, make sure that no one can get behind, but they're pretty clear from players. 3 players actually backing out whilst the rest were all kind of dead and buried. Eames actually going down kind of early.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate there from Eames, but it looks like they are going to just be sticking up this this area now. The dog with his 100% Uber is going to just be chilling out in the house. They're going to be looking to try and take this area for free, but I don't think that going through house is the best way to do it. As they do pop through, the stickies get knocked away from Eames' feet, which means he can't jump anywhere. A little bit of a poor decision there. Potentially could have taken it just through alleyway and just had a very safe take on second, and then Uber pushing to last, but Karnax is currently building that sentry gun on last, but Patchouli with the Dubrad now, and it looks like they are opting to push directly back into second.
Yeah, they are, and they're pretty slow with their push out right now, Lucky. Like, Eames has already been able to spam that, and oh, the bomb comes in. This is really smooth. Amarok gains of, oh my god, 3 players down really, really quickly. The Church of Jezunis putting in some absolute work. Uber's been forced.
Oh, Nevo, no.
He's behind. No!
No! Nevo just runs up to the point and caps it under their eyes. Oh my god, man. That's just going to be an easy round to the side of the Church of Jezunis.
100%. That's just going to be nice and easy. Just getting behind, killing poor Neo, bullying him into submission, and it's going to be the first round going to the Church of Jezunis. Does work. Sorry, Jezunis, as we come into the second mid, Lucky.
Yeah, indeed, we are now heading in. Lord of Zeus himself going to be bombing in super deep, but doesn't really find anything. Raph is going to be bombing in towards house, just getting that pressure now on towards Condor, which is going to force him forwards a little bit. The bomb's coming in though from the soldiers on Jezunis, and they are going to nuke the whole combo. It's just Callback and Raph left alive. Both these soldiers, though, as we know, they are threats themselves. Callback now going to be bombing in as Eames did spot him out there, gets denied by Nevo. Raph is just going to get cleaned up behind by Sorex. He's taking that 1v1. I actually want to watch this one because I want to see if Sorex actually murders him, but decides to run away from it.
Yeah, well, Raph is just going to, like, hang behind. Like, he's just... They're pushing second. They don't care about Raph. Raph can do whatever he wants, you know.
I think it's worth Raph
chill out
here.
with bunnies and matches. I don't know why I've got that image, but let's. That's such a specific reference that I only think Olga will get that.
But just drop a link in chat, I'll be fine. Anyway, that looks like they're going to take the Uber in. Sorex gets Ubered immediately. Sentry gun is denying someone, but they do manage to take it down. It looks like Azunas gets air. Oh my god, he gets wrecked by aliens! in the skybox, and it's also going to be Amarok in spawn. Patchouli going down to Amarok as well, but they are going to be barreling in towards the shutter, just munching players down. Karnak's out with a shotgun, Neo with a scatter gun, managing to get all those bullets in towards them. Sorik's now going to be taking a 1v1 with Neo, does get taken out eventually there, and they are going to be able to take second here, but the dog did survive once again.
Yeah, he's got a decent amount of HP. He's keeping himself all right. And yeah, it's been a chaotic game. Like, there's been so much going on, especially on the last pushes, that it's quite hard to keep up, to be honest.
It looks like that the dog is going to be able to get onto second with the Zuber out here, and it looks like they're going to try and set up for a last push. It's already Mr. Jezunis himself checking up on that right-hand side to see if they can spot anything here. There is currently a sticky trap in lobby that's really hard to see, actually, as Jezunis does spot it out eventually, but they're going to totally ignore this trap, and they're just going to be heading towards main. And it looks like they are going to use this Uber around the corner. Eames actually manages to jump, but just gets denied by the sentry gun once again. The gun going down to Amarok's rockets, however, but they haven't really found too much other than the gun with this Uber, so they are going to be able to pop out the Uber on now. Patchouli just barreling in towards this red team, but they haven't found any frags with it. In fact, they've done a really good job of kiting it away. Jezunis gets super low, but manages to use the escape plan very effectively to escape all of the damage. In fact, Karnax is the only one that goes down.
That's really, really solid from them. But again, they're on their last. They really don't want to be, as the Church want to get this to a 2-point lead. But could that activate a terrifying French team from the Daddy squad? Because they are really confident playing from behind. So they want to get that advantage, but they don't want to let this team go crazy. Because right now they're just spamming, they're looking for opportunities. They're actually going to back out a bit. They haven't got the damage, but they got the Uber advantage. And I think they may know that. They don't seem to be building too much.
Yeah, I mean, they're fine with this. I mean, Patchouli's just going to be chilling out now behind, just building up with Neo, and they do manage to get the supercharge. In fact, they mask that. Which means that they might not know that they have Uber just yet, but I think they're just going to be very content with playing passive and taking a bit more of a controlled approach to this, since they've just decided to leg it in the past 2 times. Amarok actually gets skyboxed there as he goes in and gets totally destroyed by Callback, and it's like, oh, the Uber gets forced though. Raph goes in, lands a nice rocket into Condor, and he just pops. Easy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy, as they are pushing forward right now, but they don't want to be forced either. And you know, speaking of squeezing, Jezunis looking for a little bit of an opportunity to come in on the flank, but they're taking a lot of damage. Jezunis actually gets clapped in that lower area. Neo now going forward, actually going to take a lot of spam. Are they going to be able to slink in a player to get a frag? No, they're just going to bully their way up, and they're not going to be able to get that frag onto Patchouli, and Patchouli is going to be doing pretty well. You know, he's got 100% Uber, he's going into mid, probably doesn't want to use it here, so they're going to have to look out for Jezunis, who disappears.
Hits the
I thought he was going to bomb them.
He's going to try to go for a back cab right now, but it looks like Eames wants to block, but he doesn't have the Uber charge to support him just yet. Jezunis is just going to stop doing that cap now, as Patchouli is going to not use that Uber coming in, and they have actually got 2 man out here as Nevo is on the respawner and Jezunis is deep behind. They are obviously going to be worrying about him, but it means that there's 1 less player on second. In fact, they know about this, so it looks like Corvax's going to be going in for the bomb, and it gets cleaned up there because he didn't get supported by anyone at all. And now they are just at throat from this player behind.
Yeah, they're like backing up. Neo is looking for it. Jezunis now looking for an opportunity. He's being very patient, actually. He's coming in now, slinking in. He goes for the bomb, hits the first one, gets the force out of Patch, and creates a huge advantage for his team, as there is a bit of pressure onto the dog, but he don't care. He's perfectly fine.
Yeah, he's perfectly fine sitting back now with his 100% Uber, and it looks like they are going to be angling to come in towards House. They're just going to be clearing out these areas, making sure there's no sticky traps to play with, and they're just going to be taking this one nice and slow, I think. Oh, no, not nice and slow. Eames just Ubers in, yeah.
Eames is in, a lot of damage, but they're not connecting anything, and they're going to fit it soon. They do manage to get out. Where is Patch? Patch is lower. Patch is taking huge amounts of damage from Amarok, and he is going to kill his man. Create an advantage for his team.
Yeah, I mean, that was just unfortunate there. I mean, the Uber was pretty poor to begin with, but they managed to make it work in the end just by catching Patch on the tail end of it. But Karnax is already up on NG. He understands his job in this team and needs to build that sentry gun immediately. Callback isn't going to be able to hide anymore as he gets spotted out, and Condor is going to get into second for free here, and is going to just be healing up these players ready to get this last push going with their, I think it's a 30% Uber ad that they've managed to acquire.
Yeah, it is exactly that. It's going to be about 35%, which, you know, give or take, that's perfectly fine. And the dog looking to maybe use that. He is incredibly aggressive as a med, so he's going to be wanting to bring that forward. If he can counter Ubers, which there's no doubt in my mind he can, as he brings in Sorex first. They're going to clean up that sentry gun. Oh, Neo cleans up Eames. Azunas goes down. No, the collapse is already dying. Two of these, they're not able to get anything else. The chase on from Neo. And he's going to be pushed out. He hasn't got much HP, but Korbak now chasing them, pushing them out. That was a failed push. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, it looks like that they have managed to just hold on to that through a nice headshot coming up from Neo on towards Eames there that totally denied that push, and that's all she wrote really. The rest of it was really everyone just being stragglers in the fight, but Azunis is deep in behind Patchouli here. Patchouli getting a ton of spam, and in fact does have to use that Uber as there was threatening pipes coming in there from Eames. But there's Alien bombing in super deep. Eames drops into lower, but no one chases through drop down as far as sticky bombs being laid up. But Azunis is still sitting in behind actually in Valley. He's full HP. He's ready to go for a bomb. Times 4 on cap. This is a perfect opportunity. Neo's on his head! Neo is on his head!
What?
Neo stood on Azunis' head for like half a second.
Azunis, no! Azunis, no. Naughty. How do you get away with that? I'm talking to him like I do my 4-year-old. Naughty. How did you do that? How did you get away with that?
Azunis was in behind. Neo stood on his head and jumped back onto the ledge where he was standing.
No.
And he still frags the medic. I'm so confused how Neo was like, oh, there's a random ledge here I can stand on, and didn't think to look down at all.
There's no ledge near there.
That's actually insane. Okay, never mind. No one saw it on the cam, so it doesn't matter. But it was crazy. If there's a STV somewhere, go watch it. It was funny.
It was hilarious.
Oh my god, Condog actually gets fragged by Raph. He just walks in and nukes him.
This game, what is going on? I thought this was going to be a good game, but this is just chaos, Lucky. I don't even know who I am anymore.
He just walks in through 5 players and kills the med. Like that's how this game's going.
What a pocket.
Anyway, let's get some sense going back on here. Patchouli has 100% Ubrad to play with now. Looks like they're going to be taking this midpoint eventually. Both these teams just toing and throwing over this point now, but since Condor died, it means that he's going to be able to move in towards a Valley now with this Uber charge, and they are just going to be going in through lower. It looks like they want to get aggressive with it, because otherwise we won't come through lower. Patchouli eats 2 spam rockets there and does have to use. And Alien gets annihilated! Alien goes in with Uber, gets unflashed for 0.1 seconds and dies, and the rest of them are just getting cleaned up now. It's just an absolute disaster here. They overextended to kill Eames, but Raph and Amarok and Korbak are all taking a fight here. It's just Condor and Raph.
Versus Raph. No, Aliens in the mix as well.
The dog leaves.
He's
out of there.
The dog's going last. Dog. What? Okay, you know, he could have took Raph, I believed. No, that's a lie. I had the confidence to see it happen. I don't know where I would have gone, but they have got a little bit of an Uber out of this. They may be able to push forward, at least be able to get some pressure onto mid. You can see the Patch wants to bring his team back. He's not feeling confident. He wants to play in quite a defensive position on mid right now, Lucky.
Looks like he's going to be chilling out all the way back there, just doing his thing. But there are currently stickies out from Alien on that main door. Probably anticipating that main push that they keep doing, which is exactly this, but they all get flashed through that doorway in towards Alien. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
He nukes Alien and Korbak, destroys them both, and they're both dead. And that's easy peasy for Eames.
This is a game. Lucky, this is a game. This feels amazing. This is the closest game I've seen of the season so far. This is just slugging left, right, and center. It's been so interesting. There's been some of the weirdest stuff I've ever happened. Zunas is dead. When was he in? Hello? Like, this has been beautiful, man. Oh, see the traps? Patch still walks through it and gets forced anyway. And they're just going to back out, Nevo running away. And yeah, they're doing alright, you know, running away perfectly.
Does neither team know how to take this midpoint?
What's mid?
What's mid? What is this? The easiest way to do it is to just probably, in my opinion, from what I've seen, right, Grumpy, No, not stand on it. It is to go through Valley and just sort of bait them to bomb, like this, as Callback goes in super deep and then feeds. Condor is super low, in fact has to use, otherwise he's going to create or get killed by Raph who bombed in. So he actually gets forced there. But you see the theory there. They have to bomb super high and land super low. So they actually take a ton of damage. And if there's scouts there to deny them, it's super easy. So just standing in Valley is just the way to go if you want to take it and just bait these players. Because the Frenchies like being aggressive, but Azunis goes in towards Patch. Doesn't find it, unfortunately, there, but it was a good attempt.
I love that song. Anyway. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop. As you said it, Patch and the rest of his team in Valley looking to walk forward. Are we going to see any boys in the air? You see a boy in the air, gets the force, and it's going to die. And
literally
then
the same thing happens to the other team. And now Condog has Uber advantage, and they're going to be doing the same thing.
Wait for it. No, oh, no, they're breaking it. They're coming through lower lobby. Eames is in. He is looking for Patch. Patch surface. Nah, Sticky's on your feet, boy.
Alien's going to die as well, and Patch dies. Neo dies. The bomb turns in, but the back cap is on. Karnax and Raph are deep in behind, but the respawn is coming from Amarok and Nevo. Looking like they're going to try and bomb this one. They do bomb in nice and deep, and they do find the frag onto Karnax as well. And just one soldier left alive. That is Raph who's going to be trying to escape, as this is basically a full wipe for the side of the Frenchies. Unfortunately now getting pincer maneuvered everywhere, and they do go down, and finally they take mid with some kind of success.
They're going to second, boys. After how many mid exchanges? 3, 4?
Started at the bottom, now we're here.
Ah, I love that song. Anyway, let's carry on before I lose my mind. Oh wait, I'm watching this game. Never mind, it's good.
Never mind, it's alright.
Oh, a little bit of an advantage, 35%. Oh, who cares, 30%.
It's because Patch actually died in that last Uber Chai from Condog, and looks like they are going to be doing exactly the same thing again, bashing their head against a brick wall. The sentry gun going down before the Uber comes out, though. It's going to buy them a lot of room here. Eames nearly dies again on the Uber. Amarok jumps the point, but the sticky
Karnax is pressing right click. He's pushing people away. He's facing a frag for some reason. He's nowhere near his point. He surfs in. He gets more damage. He's purging the heretics. Blood for the blood god. He's doing fine. It's all good.
How did they hold that? That's insane. Like, neither of these teams...
with a little skip. Like, that little skip surf thing that he did from, like, left to right. Tasty.
Yeah. Karnax just WM1'd a whole team, and that's exactly what happened. That's how they lost the last purge. Karnax purged the red team. The red team. Anyway, the Uber comes in towards mid, and they bomb it in, but they don't see anyone. They only kill Azunis, who actually bombed in behind, don't find anyone else. Nevo's sitting in forward spawn right now. Peeks on the side, but finds Raph! That's a huge pick as Neo goes down as well to Amarok. It's going to be a huge player advantage now for the side of Church of Jezunis, but once again, using into mid, a little bit questionable.
Patch! No! He's so young!
He's so young! Oh, they do find Patch, unfortunately. So we're in this scenario once again, though. 3 players down. They're all going to be catching these 4-second respawners. I would not recommend pushing if you're the side of Church of Jezunis, as they now see the soldiers come in, and they are not going to push. They're just going to... No, don't do it. Okay, they're going back. Thank you. Anyway, so they managed to get the Uber advantage once again. Condog, 70% Uber ad. And looks like he's going to be able to build this one up with no more threats to his existence. Alien's going to be sticking the points. There are no traps available. There's no monkey class on the side of the Frenchies either. They have a standard Pyro NG combo. The sentry gun's only level 1. Eames jumps out of main with the stickies. He is Ubered, in fact. He takes no damage there. Raph's bombing in nice and deep behind. We've got Amarok bombing into the spawn door. They find the frags eventually. 5 players up for the side of the Church of Jezunis. Only 3 left standing for the side of the Frenchies. Callback gets cleaned up as well. Alien's still trying to stick to the point, but not enough ammo in the chamber to stop the barreling team that is the Church of Jezunis.
Oh, that was a long round. That was so close. I feel like they have just unlocked a beast, and the Patch and the rest of the team now will show their prowess in the last match. Where when they're behind, they're going to put 110% effort in and be able to get a bit of a collapse going here. It just depends on how they play that mid. It'll be down to how Callback gets behind, and the rest of the team causes thing. Oh no.
Azunis?
to say...
What? Are you kidding me? Azunis
okay.
comes to mid and just bombs them immediately and then just lives. Azunis just won that mid single-handedly, basically. That's insane. Anyway, they are now in towards second. Raf is in behind with Karnax as well. They're just trying to find an angle onto the dog right now as Raf is just waiting for a health pickup. But looks like the dog and co are going to be heading all the way back in towards mid because Patch didn't even make it to mid really, and he did manage to escape with his existence in tow. Both teams have 100% lead right now to play with, and Raf going to be bombing in deep for his team, creating tons of room in towards Ian. The bomb comes in, call back there with a nice sink, and does manage to get the force off of the dog. Patchouli doesn't use the super just yet, is now going to use it as soon as it's bombing in deep in behind in towards Karnax, who does in fact find that frag is on 1 HP, and looks like the Church of Jezunis now going to be trying to re-push on this mid through lower, but they're so split up this time around, and they're just chewing damage and lower from Alien! Alien! He kills himself! Who's on them but kills himself, and then they won.
I was about to say it's totally worth it as I saw just no blue players left alive. This is a scrappy fight, but that was a good fight, but scrappy as hell. Alien putting in a huge amount of damage. Sadly, splash damage is a thing in TF2, and he died.
Nice, thank you, Grumpy for.
I'm smart. Game, video, shoot, man.
You're having a great time, aren't you?
Yes.
Lord. Anyway, even Ubers for both these teams now, so they're just going to be chilling out, and we are into a stalemate. I'd like to take this point in time to thank J Chill Max. Is that his name? Max Chill? J Max Chill? I forgot his name. J Max Chill. That's his name. Anyway, I'd like to say a huge thank you to J Max Chill, who's actually been sorting a lot of stuff out for us. He has managed to code together this thing for head-to-head stats. And as I'm talking about that, they are now playing.
Azunis died. Yeah, it's just Azunis. Don't worry about it. It's Bill. Did we say it's Bill or Ben? It's
He's Ben. I said he was a Ben.
Yeah, cool. I don't think anyone who isn't English is going to get that reference, but alright. It's not a problem at all. Let's go, gamers, as Raf gets in behind, playing like a pocket, dying very quickly, and the rest of the rest of his team are backing out. They're going to be getting a lot of pressure onto them now, as we see players going to Valley, but there are no soldiers to bomb them. So
yeah,
does that mean
they just go for the Uber trade? They go for the Uber trade instead here. So Neo and Patchouli running in super deep, but they have got the high ground against them. So as soon as Uber fades, they're going to get collapsed upon if they don't move anywhere. And Amrock actually coming in for the bomb in towards Patchouli and doesn't find it because Patch baits him all the way deep in towards mid. And Callback is going to be running in as well now. Just managed to get that bomb forwards without taking any damage. So one man advantage to the side of the Frenchies. Neo taking the one on with Nevo and lower. Aliens there to support him as Callback jumps over the scout's head. Is super weak. Nevo getting cleaned up finally by Karnax. Sorks eventually gets taken down by Callback. And now they have these two-player ad with no scouts left on the side of the Church of Jezunis, not to deny these soldiers, and they could, in fact, go in for sacks now.
Like I said before,
or just push.
These boys work so well. Look at this, so much time onto the point. They're now going for the clap, they create the space, and they get around. They need to play like this when they're not behind.
Yeah.
Seems like a switch just flicks the moment they're behind, where they can just do magical things, but the moment that they're equal, they're just like, I don't know what to do, I need my mum. I guess that's why they're called Dad Edition.
Alright,
I don't know.
Well, I guess that, it's, playing from behind is something that's really hard to do, because you got to then turn that into a small advantage, because you are behind. But anyway, we're now heading into our fourth mid, Grumpy.
We are, and actually we're looking at some sort of setup here from Callback and Raf as they bomb in quite deep. Callback's actually going to be the first one to go down, Azunis being the counter frag, so Roma for Roma. There is Amarok and Nevo just cleaning house, and it's looking like Karnax can't do it. That's going to be a wipe for Dad Squad.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Dad Squad, they're trying to fight up against this insane team up on mid, but it is currently 2-1 on the scoreline. So you've got to be feeling a little bit rough after that one, and especially after losing your medic. You have this full Uber disadvantage to play with now. But 3-1 is likely to be the scoreline after this last push. But we've seen them beef some pushes in the past in these games, they Grumpy. So
are you okay? Are you struggling like I am?
I feel like I'm having a stroke.
It's fine. Me too, bro. It's fine. Like me, myself, and I are doing great. All 6 of us are not struggling at all. As we are going to be holding on to this last right now. And they're getting the sentry up. Karnax is going to get spammed out. No, your sentry gun is dead, brother. Switch to a heavy man. No, he's going for the pyro again. He's trying to make Olga proud, but he is nowhere near. 3-1 like he predicted with 4:18 left.
Yeah, that is now. It's really hard now for the side of the Frenchies to mentally come back into this game. First of all, like I like to talk about before, psychological damage. Corndog slamming at home with the binds and saying Patchouli ? Really drilling at home, bringing the pressure down on this new medic, and you can see why he's a toxic AIDS Brit for sure. But anyway, we're heading into our next mid now, Grumpy. Alien and Eames arriving basically at the same time. Eames eats an early sticky there, so some aggression could come down onto him, but he does receive the heals now from Condor, who comes in behind. Pullback and Raph going in towards the house area. Both soldiers bombing on top of Patchouli, but they only managed to land a small amount of damage there. In fact, they both get cleaned up eventually here, but it's just Nevo in a totally caught out position here. Sorik's going to be moving in towards that mid, but Condor is super far back in Valley, and they're just going to be retreating out now, Grumpy.
Yeah, they pushed them out very, very consistently. Now they need to try and get 2 rounds as quick as possible. They're looking to go through this left-hand side into the alley. Back, bombing in high, pushing Eames out. Scout trying to deny him as they're inching forward. They're actually going to rotate, looking to maybe go below. No, deciding not to do that. And actually go into their house where Sorax is, and he's going to eat a sticky and a shot from Neo, and they're going in now quite deep. They're looking for the exchange. They need to get some sort of splash play going. No, they're actually going to have to go and do a lot of switching of their Evas themselves. But this is not too bad for them. They're looking to push in. Karnax does go down. Neo now falls onto the floor. Raph now bumps off across, trying to get onto the dog. Not going to be able to get it. Neo going down. That's going to create quite a dynamic of different in regards to players. And they're going to have to back out.
Yeah, eventually all the way back. Sorks managed to, I can't remember what happened to him. He was just not doing too much during that whole exchange. But it looks like Alien is going to be retreating with his medic back on towards mid, and Nevo is going to just be barreling forwards in towards this blue side. But Alien, oh my god, Amrock just annihilates him in the skybox. Pops into the air, just air shots the crap out of him. He gets absolutely demolished there, and that is going to mean that they take this mid.
That's a sweaty shot. That was beautiful. As I think Amarok wants to take that pressure and push it forward for his team, but decides to back out. There is Karnak slithering, a bit like Randy Orton, but he decides to RKO himself. And the Uber comes in from Nevo. He's just going to use the splash of Eames to clean him up as they're behind. They have swapped sides. This is not Uno. You can't be doing these switches right now. Patch does go down. The dog surfs a rocket and manages to stay alive. Kovacs below does get cleaned up, and the Church of Jezunis actually looking really, really strong after that, that fight.
Indeed, and it looks like Neo and Condor are going to be on the point here with Amarok posturing forwards. Eames on the respawner is now going to be rolling out now. The dog himself having an Uber advantage to play with, but 1 minute left on the clock. It doesn't matter at all now. They've managed to get this in the bag. There is now 6 points in the pocket of the Church of Jezunis. They're going to be making their way back up the leaderboard in towards 5th loving embrace, but Lord Azun is going in. It does get picked off by Korvac there, but Korvac also going down for his troubles, does trade away his life. And it is going to be the dog now with his 20% Uber advantage to play with, as they are looking to just cling to this last point here. Don't want to give away any more rounds to the Church of Jezunis.
Karnak's getting cleaned up by Sorax. Yeah, I think Eames is saying don't push. Oh no, never mind, he's saying push. He's saying debilitate. I guess they can't get 2 rounds, so he's not going to twist the knife as much as Corndog looking to get a Uber saw. He's actually just chilling, not being dealt with. They're chasing the scout instead. Much better frag. As the dog runs away with 20 seconds left. That is the game going to Jezunis, meaning both maps going to them. Congratulations to the Church of Jezunis. Commiserations to Dad Squad, or Les Darons de et Dijon. Good boys. I'm sorry I can't speak French.
I think what it really came down to in this game, and the reason that the Church of Jezunis actually ended up winning this, was because of just general team coordination and playing a little bit slower. I feel like Metalworks sort of does like to lend itself to taking those points for free when you have a full Uber advantage, but at the risk of getting bombed. But I feel like I would take that risk, because popping in to mid is pretty blind on this map. You don't really see a lot before you have to pop through those doorways. For example, top left, you can't even see through the wall before you're already in, and going in through main as well, you've got that, you are on the low ground coming in, so you can't even see anything, you can't see the setup. I feel like going in like that with the Ubers really didn't help either team, but I feel like the Church of Jezunis just got away with more than the side of the dad team and the Frenchies, also known as
Daddy Squad.
Daddy Squad, woohoo! But yeah, I just feel like that was the main reason why they couldn't get any more rounds on the board on the side of the Frenchies.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a lot stronger than the Church of Jezunis on the second map. You could see that they were playing a lot stronger. They had a lot more tightness in the way that they were playing. And there were some moments where there was a lot of back and forth, but you could just see that with the decisions made, could be down to Eames' big brain. They just played the map better. But Metalworks is such a weird map. Genuinely such a weird map.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, yeah. But we have got some logs up on the screen right now. We're seeing Sorax doing his normal thing, dropping 24 frags alongside Neo up there with his 24 frags as well. Both these scouts doing an incredible job for their teams. Eames once again on a bit of a tear in those games. 9k damage to his name, Grumpy. He did absolutely demolish these teams. But one thing I have to point out again is the Patchouli dropped 13 deaths and Condog had 3. That is just, I think that's just down to an experience thing, to be honest. I think Condog knows what he's doing in Prem, and Patchouli, obviously, he's having his bit of a debut into Prem, so it's pretty hard for him.
Do you think Condog is just excited at the prospect that, you know, he's not the guy always dropping anymore?
Yes.
Talking back to the old like Copenhagen 2 days and stuff like that, when there was all the drop memes for him. I think he's just lapping up the fact it's not him for once.
I mean, more than likely. But we do actually have a boy in here who appears to want an interview. We do have the Eames joining us.
Good evening.
How's it going, Eames? How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty good.
Nice. So we're going to ask you a couple questions, I guess, regarding these games. How did you feel overall coming into this game? What was your presumptions for going up against the French team? Did you feel like you'd destroy them, or did you feel like you'd have a nice even set of matches?
Well, we expected to win, pretty much to get 6 points, but as is often the way against the Frenchies, I know, even like, it was a kind of an odd game, and they always find some way of like making it difficult for you. But at the end of the day, I was pretty certain that we were going to win, even when I think they went 1-0 up on Snake. Was it? I was pretty confident in my team.
I don't think they ever got a baby, did they?
Didn't they win the first round on Snake?
I'm pretty sure that you won the first round and then they took it back like instantly.
Oh, well,
let me check. Let me check.
One of those things that happened.
You're playing red, right? Yeah.
Okay.
You're always in the lead, but whenever there was like them behind, especially on the first map, they just like took a 1 minute 30 round off you.
Yeah, I also want to ask, how did it feel when you beefed that last push after you got a massive player advantage and full Uber ad and still managed to beef it?
Yeah, I was cringing.
Did you want to punch your players? Were you going to pull out the cadence?
Well, it was kind of stupid. So we're not supposed to, like, it was a super easy push anyway, so we wanted not to drop, which is like what I said, is like make sure we don't drop here. But Nevo killed the sniper on left, so there's nothing stopping us from going in through left, but that didn't really come through. So it kind of popped through top left, and then and then also we could have played point at the end. Like either me, Nevo, or Connor any of us could have stacked for the point, but none of us wanted to die. So
playing for the logs truly is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 100% just like long excuse there. Saying that, I haven't got any questions, but I'm just going to use chat for inspiration. So Damul wants to ask War Chief Eames, what food did he provide to his troops for tonight's match?
It wasn't. I didn't provide any before, but I gave them the promise of being able to, drink the blood of our enemies at the end, which is what we did.
Fair.
I lost
Ritual
the bet.
sacrifice. So
I thought you would just feed them quails, small birds with very little nutrients.
Make them work for their food.
They've really got to work for it. Every frag you get a quail. Anyway, we did actually see during these games. So I talked about this thing during the cast, which is known as a psychological damage. Was that what Condor wanted to achieve onto Patchouli tonight? Do you think?
What with
or
his?
was he just
With his typing,
just
or just in general?
Yeah, he was typing Patchouli ? And writing Condor over and over again whenever Patchouli died.
That's a bind.
That's pretty normal. He spams that all the time. But
yeah,
Connor's, it's nice having Connor on your team because it's like having a mascot, and he just cheers for you like constantly and relentlessly, and also no one is ever mad at him that he does it. Like even if he does hit a nerve or touch a nerve rather, no one actually. Everyone's just like, oh, it's Condog, whatever. He cares. So it's pretty.
He's that guy on the team.
A keen teammate,
Yeah, indeed.
He's got the passion.
I have one more question I think I'm going to ask before I think I go to shout-outs. Is when it comes to Metalworks, do you guys prepare a lot? Do you have like strats in the bag that you guys have come up with on Metalworks, having it been introduced to it in the season? No. Do you feel more confident on it, or do you just feel like you're going to wing everything when it comes to Metalworks?
I wouldn't say we're winging everything. I guess you would say we're sort of winging some of the last pushes. They were pretty bad, as you probably saw. I mean, one time I got a headshot, I was pretty unlucky, but...
Yeah, I saw that. That was nuts, actually.
Yep, but... we're pretty bad at it to start with, but we finally got some pretty decent synergy with me and Azunis on the mids, so I guess that was pretty good.
Yeah, nice. But that's about it from me. So, we're just going to go to shout-outs. So, Eames, any shouts from you, buddy?
Shout out to my team. We had a pretty good season. Well, I mean, we've still got... playoffs in one more game, but we're
folding.
We're guaranteed second, so that's nice. Shout out to the boys in Mumble. Yeah, that's it. Shout out to you guys for the cast.
Grumpy, any shouts from you?
Yeah, shout outs to the the people watching the stream. Shout out to the teams that played. It was a very interesting and very fun game to cast. Shout out to Rahmed for production, and shout out to you, Lucky, as my co-caster. It was a good blast, man.
Oh, it was great. Rahmed, any shouts from you? I'll say it for you. He said, "Shout out to all the boys out in the yard." Is what I've heard. He wants milkshakes.
And they're better than yours.
I'm just going to throw another shout out to JMax Chill for doing all our head-to-head stuff. Excellent job making the script to make it super easier or a lot easier for our producers to get those head-to-heads on the screen for you. Shout out to Eames as well for coming in for an interview. Shout out to both teams for a great game. Shout out to you, Grumpy, for being excellent as per usual. Rahmed for producing. And shout out to our chat as well. We love each and every one of you. So we'll catch you in our next game. Peace.
I